Hi guys, how are you guys doing? I am back with another story time today. I've actually missed doing these. I think story times are my favorite kind of video to make. I really enjoy it, but I don't know if you guys enjoy watching them, so that's why I'm a little hesitant to making them. But today I was like, you know what? I'm gonna film one. Also, apologies if you can hear thunder. It is thundering really bad right now, but I wanted to film, so I was like, I'm gonna film. Hopefully it's not too bad. Anyway, as you can probably see from the title, today I'm gonna be talking about how I kind of almost got my roommate arrested because they were abusing drugs. Before anyone starts hating on me, I am not a snitch. I hate snitching on people. I am not about that life. I am also not someone that's like, drugs are bad, drugs are bad. But I'm just telling you the story about how it got way overhand and I had to do something about it. So the only thing I could do was talk to my landlord about it, which then involved the cops. But I will get onto that. I was living in London for about a year. This was my last year of university, so I decided to move to a different place because I didn't want to stay in the accommodation that I was staying before, which was kind of like a student housing. I wanted to stay in a place with other students that was like a house, you know? A flat, whatever you want to call it. So I decided to move and I found a room in Camden Town in London. I mean, I'm not too insane about the area, but it was decent. The only reason I chose this is because before that I went to loads of different places and I'm not like rich and I'm not saying I have like so much money to splurge on, but some of the places that people live in, I do not understand how someone can live in some of those conditions. Not even an animal could live in there. Not saying like animals like should live in like slums, but like, you know, that's like a saying, isn't it? But like, whew. So when I found this room that was quite bright, spacious, it had really large windows with a lot of sunlight, which that is my number one thing when I look for like a house or like a room or whatever. I need big windows and sunlight and like some kind of view. It doesn't have to be like a great view, but like I need light. So I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. So I moved into there. Two guys were already living there and one was like 2 years younger than me. I think he was 18 and then the other guy was like, I think 2 years older than me. But we were all like kind of in a similar age group. And there was another girl living there who I believe was like the same age as me. I'm not sure, but like pretty much the same, you know? We were all kind of like in our 20s and one guy was just couple of years younger. Anyway, the girl was really cool, really liked her, so got on with her. The guys at first were cool and I was completely okay with them. One of the guys was really cool. We just got on, you know, it was one of those people that you just like, you can chat with, it's not awkward, you just kind of get on. I understand his obsession with marijuana because he was from Amsterdam, so I understand completely, but it got out of hand. The other guy, he was from Scotland or something. I thought he was a nice guy until he tried to hit on me one day and it was not okay. Anyway, that's another story altogether. So these guys were like obsessed with smoking weed, and I mean obsessed. One of them had a job at a hotel. He would like get up at 3:30 a.m. or something ridiculous, and the bathroom was next to my room, so he would always like put his music on and make like loud noise in the bathroom at 4 a.m. when he was like getting ready, and I was like, dude, this is not okay. I mean, normal people are still sleeping at 4 a.m. His job was like overnight, so then he would like finish work at like, I don't know, like 1 p.m. or something, and he would come home and he would sit in the living room all day and all night, and he would just smoke weed. Like, he would just smoke weed all day. And I'm sorry if you do that and that's your thing. It's not okay. You should probably like get up and do something with your life. But anyway, he would like watch Netflix and smoke weed all day, every day. The other guy, I don't think he even had a job. Like, he came to London to like be on The Voice or something, but that didn't work out. The day of his audition, the night before, he got wasted and did a lot of hardcore drugs, and then he couldn't wake up on time the next day, so he was late to his audition, and then he faked that he was in a car crash. And I don't know, this guy was like not okay in the head, and I was like, that's messed up. And he was like, yeah, but they felt sorry for me, so it was good. And I was like, yeah, but that's fucked up. Like, you don't lie about that. Karma will come and it will hit you in the buttocks. Not cool. Anyway, so where am I? I'm like going off of track here. So the other guy, whatever his job was or whatever he was doing for a couple of hours a day, he would after come home and he would sit with the other guy and they would just sit in the living room. So they took over the whole living room, and it wasn't even really a living room. If I have any pictures, I'll insert them now to show you what this place looked like. It is like a bit of a slum, but you know. I'll also insert a picture of my room to show you the reason why I went for the room, because it was nice and big. But the rest of the house was a slum. There were so many problems, and they took over the whole living room, and the living room was connected to the kitchen, so if you wanted to go to the kitchen, you had to always pass through them, and it was like a tight space. Whoa. That's intense. And you'd have to like squeeze in and you would feel awkward, and it was just not okay. And the worst part was the living room would always smell like weed, but it was like constant. And I don't mind the smell of marijuana. Like, it's actually quite a nice smell. But I don't want to live in it. I don't want to live in a marijuana hotboxed house. Like, that's not my dream home, you know what I'm saying? So every day I would come home, the corridor would be okay, and then you open the door to the living room and it hits you in the face like you're in like some kind of stoner house. The weird part is the marijuana smell would always travel up to my room, and I don't know how, because it wouldn't smell in the corridor, but as soon as you open the door to my room, it like hits you in the face again. It's almost as if I was smoking as well in my room, which I wasn't. So that was really weird. It would happen a few times. I would just come home randomly and I would like walk into my room and it would just smell like weed. And I always thought, oh, the smell's just traveling to my room. One of the guys, when we were chilling one day, told me that before I moved in, him and the other guy, whilst my room was empty, would go and sit on like the window ledge and they would smoke weed out the window in my room. So I just laughed at it and I was like, oh, that's really messed up. Ha ha ha, funny. Not thinking, oh, maybe they still do that when I'm out. I dismissed that because I thought, that's no way. No way is that gonna happen. Like, they're not just gonna enter my room without me being there. That's so messed up. I think because I would never do that, I think that other people wouldn't do that, but I forget that we're not like the same. People aren't the same. So you may have standards, but that doesn't mean other people do. Oh, and of course, before you start asking how do they get into my room, this house didn't have any locks on the doors. It was actually prohibited because of like fire safety or something. So like you weren't allowed to have a lock on your door. I even asked for one because I was like, I think people were going into my room when I'm away. Can I please get a lock? And they were like, sorry, we cannot. It is against the law. And I was like, that's messed up. I tried to work out so many ways of trying to like lock my door without a lock, and I failed. And also, me and this other girl, by the way, would constantly tell the guys in a really nice tone. Like, we weren't assholes to them. We were very, very generous even. And we were just telling them, like, do you mind just not smoking inside, please? We can't deal with the smell. We can't deal with coming home every single day and it hitting us in the face. Like, please just go and smoke outside. We had a little garden patio thing. Like, there was chairs there. Just go. It was like a few steps away from the living room. You don't even have to make much of an effort to get up and go. One of the guys was like, you can't tell me what to do. And we were like, excuse me, we're not telling you what to do. We're warning you that if you don't stop smoking weed in the house, we're gonna tell the landlord and then you're probably gonna get kicked out. So instead of being so rude to us, actually thank us for being super nice to you, because we could just go to the landlord straight away and you'd get kicked out, okay? But we're giving you a chance here. We actually gave them many chances. And as you can imagine, after so many chances, people start to get irritated. What really pushed me off the edge was when I went on holiday for 2 weeks. I obviously couldn't lock my door because no locks. I come back after 2 weeks, and when I come back, I enter my room and oh boy, I actually cried because I was so angry. It was one of those like when you're so angry that you don't know what to do, so you just like cry because you're just so mad. And also I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I opened my door and first of all, things have moved around in my room, and I am the type of person, I'm very anal about how I make my bed. First of all, this is probably OCD, I don't know, but every single pillow is put on in a certain angle, in a certain position, everything. The quilt, everything is just in a certain proportion that fits my liking. So I can notice if I haven't made the bed. I can notice when my bed is made by someone else, 100%. My pillows are the wrong way around, and it's obvious because I had 4 pillows, like 4 main pillows, sleeping pillows, you know. They were 2 pink ones at the back, and then at the front, they were white ones, and they're the type of pillowcases that have like frills around the edges, you know what I mean? The frills are on the front, and on the back, it's just like a normal white pillowcase. And the pillows were like placed the other way around. So the frills weren't facing outwards. The frills were facing inwards. So like I would never do that. Like, that's intense. I would never do that. I would never in my mind even consider putting the pillow the other way around to the way it was designed to be put. And the quilts were like moved around. It was like someone had tried to recreate the way I make my bed, but in a very poor manner. My heart sank because that moment I realized someone had slept in my bed while I was away, and it just made me so... Oh my god, it triggered me so bad just thinking that one of the guys or whoever had slept in my bed. Maybe it was the girl or one of her friends. I don't know. I mean, I obviously asked them all and they obviously all denied it. And I don't know why, when they could have just messaged me and been like, hey, Olivera, do you mind if we sleep in your bed tonight? Or do you mind if our friend, he's staying over or she's staying over, do you mind if they sleep in your bed tonight? I would have gladly said, of course they can, because I know that sometimes you need a spare bed, and I understand like you have people over and you don't want them to sleep on the floor or whatever, and I completely understand that, and I'm so up up for like letting people use my stuff or sleep in my bed, or like if they need something, I'm happy to give it to you if I can, you know, obviously if I'm able to. But when people do stuff behind my back, that triggers me so bad and that makes me so angry. Also, I hate liars and I hate people doing sneaky things. I would rather just be asked and I will happily accommodate you. So that really upset me. And also, my room smelled like weed. And I had not been in the house for 2 weeks. And that's the minute I knew that I had to contact the landlord. And I straight away spoke to her. I told her the situation. I told her about all the weed. I told her about all the bongs. I told her everything. And I know that loads of you are gonna say that I'm a bitch and that like I should have kept my mouth shut and I'm annoying and I shouldn't have snitched. And I know I hate snitching. I don't even get to this level. I am not a snitcher. I give people chances. I try and speak to someone beforehand and try and sort things out before I go and like speak to landlords or people. But these guys took it too far, man, like too far. And their bongs and their weed and everything was just sprawled around the kitchen and like on cupboards and stuff. They had like little pipes and bongs and things that he'd ordered from like Amsterdam, like a $400 bong or some weird stuff. I didn't know that she was gonna bring the police into it though. Like she never ever told me that she was gonna bring the police into it. I had no idea. She told me that she wouldn't say my name or say that it was me that like said anything. She said that she's gonna just come in randomly and say that they're doing random checks or something like that. But I didn't know the police was gonna accommodate her. So then a few days later, there's a knock on the door and she comes in with a policeman and I'm like, holy fuck, what have I done here? Like, what the hell have I done? I didn't expect it to go this far. And the guy, the bong and everything belongs to was in bed, he was sleeping, and then the policeman like goes up to his room and they knock on his door. I didn't really hear what they spoke to him about exactly, but they confiscated all his bongs and all the weed and everything, and I was like, shit. And they gave him a warning that if this happens one more time, he's gonna get kicked out of the house. And I don't know where the other guy was. I don't know what happened with him, but all I know is that like a few weeks later, he was out of that house. He went to Scotland on like a trip and he literally never came back. I don't know. I don't know if he just didn't tell us that they kicked him out because he'd had warnings before that. But that landlady was not happy with him. He had like cigarette stains in his room, cigarette burns on the wardrobes, on the cupboards. The floor was like had ash on all under the bed. It was so disgusting and they were really not happy with him. I don't know if they even gave his deposit back, probably not. All I know is he was gone. I was kind of relieved because he was just a bad energy to be around. I didn't mean to kick anyone out. I just think it kind of happened because when you cross that line, it's too much. That is the story, guys, for today. It's a bit of a random one, but I just kind of felt like doing a story time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please give it a thumbs up because then I'll know if you do enjoy story time so I can make more because I'm never sure if people enjoy them or not. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. I'd love to have you as part of the little family we've got going on here. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!